We've all been feeling it, right? There's no sense of individuality anymore, right? When it comes to our style, our presentation, and how we show up in the world. I feel like it's just been a cookie cutter idea of how people should look based on what the fashion industry is telling us that's in the moment, or what a celebrity is wearing out in the streets, now considered trendy. I don't know about you, but I miss the days, right? Think back, circa 1990s, even early 2000s, we sought out individuality. We had magazines to reference, not to copy, but to inspire us, to hone in on what we resonate with from a styling perspective. And fast forward to today, all we're seeing is aesthetics, right? Uptown Girl, cottage core, all these different gimmicky style aesthetics birthed through what the fashion industry wants us to emulate from season to season. Everyone is looking exactly the same, right? Even down to hair and makeup, right? The clean girl aesthetic, quiet luxury. It's all just an idea of what the industry deems acceptable. And we're losing individuality. So generations of today, they're chasing an aesthetic instead of chasing authenticity, self-identity, and figuring out who they are at their core based on where they come from, their hobbies, interests, career goals, aspirations. So with that being said, the way in which we style and present through individuality over aesthetics is figuring out our why, what we want to achieve, what our interests are, what we stand for. What is your reason for getting up every morning? What sets you apart from everyone else, right? That's raw, non-conforming, but you genuinely resonate with when you're in a room by yourself. What are those reoccurring thoughts, ideas that pop in your head? Is it a business idea? Is it a mindset, a way of showing up? Is it a social issue, a change that you want to put out in the world or implement? I think those are some questions we can begin asking ourselves to really get a better understanding of what we believe in, what we stand for, who we are, how do we translate that into our personal style and how we show up. It really needs to tie to our purpose. I'm not talking about career. I'm talking about what we enjoy in life, right? What we dislike. How does that translate into your style identity? Because first impressions are really the only thing that we can count on in the beginning when we interact with a community or an individual. They're seeing our outer appearance first, our external representation of ourselves. And us as humans, we immediately have an assumption or perception of someone within 3 seconds of meeting them based on how they carry themselves, choice of clothing they wear, how they style their hair, makeup. Is it minimal? Is it the top? Kept, maintained, or disheveled looking? First impressions really create a immediate perception of who you are. And the best way to communicate the most accurate version of yourself based on how you see yourself is down to your why you dress the way you dress, right? How you carry yourself when no one's watching. It starts with your why. So, prime example, think about an educator, right? You shape young minds, right? That is your purpose, to, I would imagine, encourage independent thought, knowledge, self-acceptance, a sense of identity to your students, ensuring that they are prepped and poised and ready for real life situations when they get out into the world. So with that being said, if that is your purpose, what you truly enjoy, and that's what you committed your life's work to, then your style identity should represent your authentic self too, right? Leading by example. How do you want to show up? What resonates with you? How do you inject some personality, your sense of self, within every ensemble that you put together when you go to school every day and educate your students? That gives them permission to show up authentically as themselves. And then all of a sudden, there's a new way of being, right? Fostering the idea of individuality over conformity. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, right, you have a product or a service that you want to sell, but maybe unsure of how to market it, or creating brand recognition, connectedness, and relatability to your audience, or even understanding what your niche is. Think about going back to your why, right? What's the origin behind starting your business? It has to come from somewhere. There's got to be that aha moment that every business entrepreneur has had, right? Before officially taking that plunge, launching their business. Was it based on a lifestyle change, a sense of self-empowerment to leave the 9-to-5 rat race behind, to bet on yourself, right? Was it birthed from adversity or a challenge in your life? And this product or service, is it a solution to a problem that you experienced and you want to pay it forward, share that knowledge with another person? Is it maybe a social issue? Is it based on your heritage, your culture? Whatever it may be, figuring out your why and ensure that that is front in your branding, how you carry yourself, and what your style is. If you are a social activist or in the political arena, right? You want to spark change, cultivate connectedness, and be relatable to your community, to be a change agent in whatever it is you were trying to improve, deconstruct, put awareness on, right? Again, it's first impression. How do you want to be perceived? What way of presenting yourself do you think is going to be effective in communicating who you are and what you stand for? The political sphere, especially for women, there's a lot of guardrails that come into how a woman should present herself. Not showing too much skin, hair being styled in such a way that's palatable, not too over the top, neutral colors, nothing too eye-catching, right? That has been the archaic way of a woman presenting for many years, and still to this day, there's restrictions. But there are ways that you can implement your sense of self, even in the most conservative rooms, right? Maybe it's a bold red lip. right? Maybe it's in accessories, right? There's always a way to inject your personality while still showing up the way you need to show up, right? I feel like we as a collective, we're in a very special time right now where I think the pendulum is moving back toward individuality. Case in point, Bad Bunny, right? I mean, look at the waves that he's been making over the years. His halftime show, his musical talent, and his sense of style, more specifically, there is a point of view there, right? He really hones in on his authenticity and ensuring that he puts his why front and center, unapologetically, right? We've learned that culture is important to him. It's Puerto Rican heritage, social and political issues happening in Puerto Rico and on a national scale, right? He's putting much light into that. LGBTQIA rights, dismantling the idea of masculinity, right? He continues to bend the boundaries of what has been mainstream, acceptable, normal, and how a man should present. And he's showing us another way that being yourself can be an aesthetic in itself. You being you, knowing your why, and injecting that in your style identity, that is going to create an aesthetic that is born through authenticity and individuality. Showing up unapologetically as yourself through your why, your purpose, what sparks joy, what you stand for. That's going to have a domino effect. We're all connected, essentially. So when you have the audacity to show up as yourself, that's going to mean something, right? That's going to collectively give other individuals the permission to show up as themselves, or at least to start leaving these fleeting aesthetics behind and beginning to prioritize a sense of self within their personal style. And that in turn is going to create resonance with whatever goals or aspirations that you want to share with the world. You can create a revolution just by purely being yourself, unapologetically. You have the audacity to bend boundaries, set your own standards, and stand up for what you believe in. That's going to attract the right opportunities, the right people in your life. And success is going to be the byproduct. We're more than just an aesthetic. Let's get back to being ourselves and showing up with purpose and knowing our why. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. I am all about self-empowerment, authenticity, and showing up as the best version of yourself. Ensuring that your external presentation directly correlates with who you are internally. There is harmony, so you are attracting the right opportunities, the right people, and fulfilling your life's purpose, what you want to accomplish in life. Thank you for rocking with me. Have a wonderful day, and say fabulous.